to all my incredible YouTube viewers. Thank you for diving into this story with me. Your support fuels these tales of raw emotion and human truth. Let's unravel this heartbreaking journey together. The bar's neon glow sliced through the dust like a blade, and I froze, my breath catching as if someone had punched me in the gut. There, through the fog window of O'Malley's, sat my wife, Elise, laughing with a man whose hand rested too comfortably on hers. My keys jangled in my trembling fingers, the world tilting under my feet. 7 years of marriage, and I'd never seen her smile like that. Not for me, not in years. The air was thick with the scent of rain-soaked asphalt and spilled beer as I pushed through the heavy oak door. Inside, the bar hummed with clinking glasses and low murmurs, but all I heard was the blood pounding in my ears. Elise's auburn hair caught the dim light, her head tilted toward him, her eyes sparkling in a way that used to be mine. I stood in the doorway, unnoticed, my wedding ring suddenly heavy, like an anchor dragging me under. I'd come here by chance, a detour after a late shift at the office. Elise had texted earlier, saying she was grabbing drinks with some friend from work. I hadn't thought twice. She'd been distant lately, sure, but I chalked it up to her new promotion, the long hours, the stress. Now, watching her lean closer to the stranger, his fingers brushing her wrist, I saw every missed call, every vague excuse. Every night she'd slipped into bed long after I'd fallen asleep. The signs had been there, flickering like faulty streetlights, and I'd chosen to walk in the dark. I slid into a booth across the room, half hidden by a flickering jukebox. The bartender, a grizzled man with a beard like steel wool, shot me a glance but said nothing. My eyes stayed locked on them. The man, tall, broad-shouldered, with a tailored jacket and a smile too smooth, whispered something, and Elise laughed again, her hand grazing his arm. My stomach churned, acid rising in my throat. I wanted to storm over, demand answers, but my legs felt bolted to floor. What was I afraid of? The truth? Or losing her completely? Memories clawed at me. Our first day at that tiny Italian place, her shy grin over a plate of spaghetti, the way she clung to me during our wedding vows, promising forever under a sky bruised with stars. I'd believed her. Even now, part of me wanted to believe this was a mistake, a misunderstanding. Maybe he was just a colleague, a friend. But then he tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and her cheeks flushed, and the lie I'd been telling myself crumbled like ash. I ordered a whiskey, the glass cold against my palm, and watched him like a detective piecing together a crime scene. The way she tilted her head, the way she didn't pull away from his touch. It was intimate practice, like they'd done this before. My mind raced, replaying months of her late nights, her sudden obsession with her phone, the way she'd started locking it with a passcode I didn't know. I'd told myself it was nothing, that love meant trust. But trust, I realized now, was a house built on sand, and the tide was coming in. The jukebox switched to a slow, mournful tune, and I caught snippets of their conversation over the din. "You're overthinking it," the man said, his voice low, teasing. Elise's reply was too soft to hear, but her smile was sharp, conspiratorial. I gripped my glass tighter, the whiskey untouched, my wedding ring glinting under the bar's amber lights. It felt like a shackle now, a relic of a promise she'd already broken. I couldn't stay invisible forever. My legs moved before my brain caught up, carrying me toward their table. The bar seemed to shrink, the walls closing in, the air thick with the weight of what was coming. Elise saw me first, her eyes widening, her laugh dying mid-breath. The man turned, his smirk fading as he registered my presence. Up close, he was older than I'd thought, lines etched around his eyes, but his confidence didn't waver. "Mark," Elise said, her voice a mix of surprise and something else. "Guilt? Fear? What are you doing here?" I stood there, my heart a hammer against my ribs, words tangling in my throat. "I could ask you the same thing," I said finally, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. My eyes flicked to the man. "Who's this?" She hesitated, her fingers tightening around her glass of wine. "This is David, from work." The lie was thin, stretched to breaking. David extended a hand, but I ignored it. My gaze locked on Elise. Her eyes darted away, And in that moment, I knew. No explanations, no excuses, just the raw, ugly truth. Work, huh? I said, my voice low, dangerous. Funny, you never mentioned David before. The air between us crackled, the bar fading into a blur. David shifted, his hand dropping to the table. But he stayed silent, watching us like a predator sizing up a fight. Mark, let's talk outside, Elise said, her voice trembling now. She stood, reaching for my arm, but I stepped back, my hand instinctively going to my ring. I twisted it off, the metal cold against my skin, and held it out to her. The gesture felt final, like signing a death certificate. Keep it, I said, my voice breaking despite myself. You clearly don't need it anymore. Her face crumpled, tears welling, but she didn't take the ring. Mark, please, it's not what you think. Then what is it? I snapped, louder than I meant, drawing eyes from nearby tables. Tell me, Elise. Tell me why you're here, laughing with him, touching him, when you're supposed to be my wife. David stood now, his jaw tight. Hey, man, let's calm down. Don't. I cut him off, my glare pinning him in place. This isn't about you. Not yet. Elise's tears spilled over, but her silence was louder. She didn't deny it, didn't explain. The absence of her defense was a confession, and it sliced through me like glass. I set the ring on the table, the soft clink echoing in my ears. I trusted you. I said, my voice barely a whisper now. I loved you. I turned to leave, my chest hollow, but her voice stopped me. Mark, wait. I glanced back, and for a moment, I saw the woman I married, vulnerable, scared, human. I didn't mean for this to happen, she said, her words fragile, breaking. I was lonely. You were always working, always gone. David, he was there. Her words were a knife, twisting deeper. Lonely. The word stung because it was entirely a lie. I'd been consumed by work, by bills, by keeping our life afloat. But I'd never stopped loving her. Had she? I looked at David, who had the decency to look away, and then back at Elise. You could have talked to me, I said. You could have fought for us. Instead, you chose this. I walked out, the ring left behind, the night air cold against my face. But as I stepped onto the street, a thought hit me, sharp and sickening. The way David had watched her, possessive, certain. He wasn't just a fling. This had been going on for months, maybe longer. And then, the real twist, the photo I'd found on her phone last week, the one I dismissed as a work trip. It was him, in her hotel room. I stopped, my breath hitching, the truth crashing down. She hadn't just betrayed me tonight. She'd been rewriting our marriage for months, and I'd been too blind to see it. The ring was gone, but the weight of her betrayal would linger, a ghost I'd carry forever.